But this book, all I knew was it was going to be a gangster novel. It was going to be about rum running, which I find has been sort of underserved. People write about the whiskey side of things a lot. Rum running to me was the sexy side of Prohibition. It was, where you got down into the tropics, you got into Tampa, Miami, New Orleans, and then Cuba and the Bahamas, and that was something kind of sexy I hadn't seen before, so I wanted to write about that. And then you just go with, and the only thing I knew was it was going to be gangsters, like fedoras, cool cars, Tommy guns, and it was going to be, it was going to follow the rum route in reverse, so it goes Boston, Tampa, and Havana. And that was it. That's all I knew about the book when I started it. And by the time I finished it, I said, wow, this is fitting really nicely in what I want to do in terms of, I want to look at key events in the 20th century in his most entertaining fashion as I can. Oh, Prohibition, come on, it's the coolest era there was. I mean, the cars were cool, the clothes rocked, people talked really cool, everything, it was just cool. It was just, to me, that's what it was. All the music coming out of the clubs, the way women dressed, the sense of everybody was involved in something illegal. I mean, you're talking about a national law that 80% of America is just ignored, absolutely ignored. It gave rise to the mafia. It was such an incredibly exciting and fertile time to write about. And when I was a little kid, I sort of discovered narrative art through gangster movies. When I was about 8, 9 years old, I used to watch old Jimmy Cagney movies with my uncle. And that's how I came to it. And ever since then, I think, since I was that young, some part of me wanted to write a gangster novel. So when it came time to drop the hammer on this book, what wasn't there to be excited about? And I think that translates in the book. I think that what you see is me having the time of my life on top of that and wanting to translate that to the audience. I want to say, hey, this is the subgenre I love more than any subgenre out there. Let me show you why. And that's, the first line is a guy standing in a tub of cement. Which is a real classic trope of the gangsters subgenre. Well, the thing I want to be really clear about is there's no sequel here. This is not a sequel at all in any way, shape, or form. One of the characters in The Given Day, Given Day was a book about a white family and a black family. The white family was a police family, and the youngest brother, who in The Given Day was 12, grows up to become a gangster. He goes up against the family profession, essentially, and goes the other direction completely. So while his father's deputy superintendent in the Boston Police Department, his brother's an ex-police officer, he becomes a gangster during Prohibition. One of the things of The Given Day was to look behind the curtain of a family. So it's a family that seems very much, it's a politically powerful family, it's a respectable family, and yet when you pull back the curtain, it was a very dysfunctional family. So I said, what's the youngest kid from this type of family going to grow up to be? And I was thinking that while I was writing The Given Day. And then by the time I got to finish The Given Day, I thought, this guy's my way into a gangster novel, which is what I always wanted to write. Well, it's just, I think the gangster subgenre, the gangster movie and the gangster book, is like, it's grafted into my DNA. It's just so part of my pre-adolescence, then straight through my life, that to write it was kind of like, oh yeah, no, I get this. This is my wheelhouse. I know what I'm doing here.